Hey! I've got a new phone! No more disco! It's new! It's one of those S8s without the sides of the screen as well. It's like, I'm like, whoa! Bloody hell! Bloody hell! Anyway, Mr. Hurley, how are you doing? Yusuf's on as well. Hello. Hey! God, man, honestly, it's well clear, this thing. It's great. That's my old one, and it's shit. Watch. You do that and this lights up, but nothing happens to the screen. So then you've got to give it a bit of that and do a bit of this and all of this caper. Press the button. It's gone complete. What's good is this has just gone completely dead today when I got my new one. Funny that, I reckon the phone companies know about this shit. Anyway. How's it going? Mark Furnival's on as well. Ah, man, good man. You're doing high pulls today. That's what we like to see. Funnily enough, that's what this is about, because I was doing snatches in the park today. So we've been down there with Paul and Zoe and Rob and a couple of others. And we were doing some stuff this morning. And then I was back here for breakfast. Then I went back out again with Russ, Andy and Johnny. And they had a bit of a free-for-all session, actually. They were doing some get-ups. I was going to try and get a video of Russ, because he was doing some funky stuff, except for I had this with me. And as you know, it doesn't fucking work. Oh, the back's come off as well. Anyway, so I couldn't record the bloody video, but I've got my new phone, so I'll do it this week. And he was doing lots of funky stuff. Anyway, as soon as they'd gone, it was my time. I was like, right, I'm out here anyway, so I'll do some snatches. Now, there was there was two lasses over there. One was a trainer, I think, and the other one was a client. And then another lass turned up who was over there, not here, but in the park over there. And they were doing a session. So it was a trainer and a client. And I was kind of standing where I was doing, and they were all doing like stretching and moving and running backwards and forwards to things and stuff like that. And I was just standing there doing 7 snatches, put it down, rest. 7 snatches, put it down, rest. 7 snatches, but I was just going for it. And the thing was, I thought, people, the guys who come down the park will know this. You get some funny looks because it looks weird, right? But it's no different than just going down the gym and lifting some weights. However, we're doing it in a park and there's people around, the general public. So it looks a bit weird. So I always think, well, people are looking at me weird, right? Which I've not got a problem with. But then I thought, well, hang on, why aren't they looking at them weird over there? Is it why aren't they looking at the 2 girls over there who are doing push-ups and hip bridges and all of that sort of stuff, all the stuff that they were doing? I wasn't really watching. And then there was another couple over there who were doing like sprints and squats and something else. And I just thought, hang on, why do these ladies walk past, and these 2 ladies walk past? I've seen them in the park before, and they just sit and draw. They do like drawings in the park and stuff like that. And as I was going, they walked past straight in front of me, so I'm snatching it, and they said hello, and I was like right in the middle of it, so I was knackered, so I was just like, oh, hello. And then one of them just said, oh, you'll hurt your back doing that. And I kind of looked at her, I was like, no, I won't, I've been doing it for ages. So I just said it's good for your back. And she just looked at me and said, no, it's not, it's that you'll hurt your back doing that. And I was like, my back doesn't change position, because as I come down, this is my back, I do that. And it's all through my hips. And she just said, no, that'll hurt your back. And I said, well, I do it all the time. I've learned how to do it, and I didn't just pick this thing up and start chucking it around. I've learned how to use it. I said it in a nice way, but also only had 15 seconds rest, so I had to say it very quickly. And she kind of just looked at me funny, and then they went and sat under a tree and started drawing. And I just thought, why would you say that to someone? Because she doesn't know the way I was doing it, which was with perfect technique, by the way. But it was, I reckon you can always get better technique. However, if my back started to get sore, I would stop. This is what we do with the guys in the park. If something happens and they start to get sore in the wrong places, we stop. And we address it. We address the problem, which might take a session, it might take 2, it might take 3, it might be an underlying problem, a mobility problem that we need to sort out, and we go and address it. However, you know, somebody walking past who doesn't know what they're talking about, telling me, who does know what I'm talking about, that I'm going to hurt myself is just, you know, it's bananas. What, like, she doesn't know. She doesn't know that, so why would she say that? So, there's a couple of things here. Unsolicited advice, right, based on something that people know nothing about, which is, you know, it happens all the time. I get it all the time. You probably think I'm giving it now, which is fine. You can think that, then you don't have to watch. It's perfectly fine, right? But unsolicited advice, while I was in the middle of something and I was tired and emotional as well, so I was like, that's really... And also, thinking, why are people looking at me doing what I'm doing because it looks weird and not looking at these other lot over there? But that's my problem. Because they might have been looking at them over there and going, oh, that's a bit weird what they're doing, that's a bit weird what they're doing, and what he's doing. It just so happens they happen to be closest to me. So that's my problem. Isn't it? And this happens all the time. This happens all the time when you get annoyed with people or frustrated with people or jealous of people or, you know, you just, it happens when you get text messages. If you get a text, or you send a text message and then someone doesn't text you back within like 3 seconds. I know people like this. Like if you don't get back to them within 5 minutes, they're kind of like, well, what's wrong? What's wrong? And it's like, I haven't texted you back yet. I might even not do it today. It might be tomorrow. I'm busy. I've got things to do, you know. And people start to build up this picture of like, well, what's happening? What's happening? Why aren't they getting back? Like, you know, building up this picture of why are these people looking at me funny? Why me and why not anyone else? And then, you know, and I kind of thought about it for about a split second, and I thought, well, is that true? No, I don't know if they're looking at anyone else. I don't know. They might have just wanted a chat. Tom Jones is on. How are you doing? They might have just wanted a chat. So, this is the Byron Katie stuff I've been talking about. You just ask is it true? And then, how do you feel when you think that thought? Now, I feel like, why me? And what used to happen was, I would stop doing. There was a guy walked past and said something a couple of years ago when I was doing something, and I stopped. I was in the park, and I stopped doing my workouts in the park. When I was down the park with the guys, that was fine, because we were in a group, and as soon as it was just me on my own, I started coming back home to do it. And that was my problem. It wasn't the problem with this guy, it was my problem. Because I was thinking like, well, does everyone think I'm a bit of a weirdo in the park? Do they think I'm trying to show off? Which is what this guy said. He just basically said, you're showing off. And it was like, well, I'm not. This is where I train my guys, because it's an open space and I've got plenty of space. And he said, well, have you not got a back garden? And I was like, well, yeah, but like, I can't train a bunch of guys in there. They'd have to traipse their way through my flat for a start, and then go all the way back out again and all that. And it's easier to meet up in a park. You know, and what happens if I didn't have a back garden? I'd be like, well, I should have just said, no, I haven't. That would have shut him up, wouldn't it? Anyway, so the thought I was having through my head of what happens when I think like people are just looking at me and it's not anyone else is, you know, I got scared. I got scared to be out there, and I was kind of embarrassed about it. So, you know, and then I thought, well, who would I be if I didn't think that thought? That's the next question. And it was kind of like, well, I'm just doing what I'm doing. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel fitter and stronger. It makes all the guys who I've trained feel fitter and stronger, healthier. Gets them to lose weight. Gets them to lose body fat, build strength, feel better about themselves, get better sleep, all of that sort of stuff. So that's what happens if I don't think that thought. If it could stop me in my tracks, but I just thought, no, I'll analyse it and get past it. So I did, and then the next bit of this is to turn it around. So turn it around myself. So have I ever looked, you know, do I look at people weird sometimes? And you'll know if you ever walk around Bath during the day. Okay, like it's different at different times. So sometimes like you walk around at night, go to the pub or whatever, you're wandering around, you know, people kind of disappear. During the day, they all come out. They're everywhere. They all come out. There's weirdos everywhere. You know, I'm one of them. So it's one of those things. Have I got the capacity? Have I got the ability? Have I got the whatever it is to look at people funny and think they're doing something weird? And yes, I have. We all have. We all do it. We are all everything, right? Anything you get annoyed about, jealous about, frustrated with, anything with anybody, you're capable of doing yourself, and you probably have done at some point in the past, or you will do at some point in the future. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. You know, so this lady saying that to me, that's fine. That's fine. She thinks I'm going to hurt her back. I know I'm not, so it's not a problem. It makes me second guess it though. Think, or like, you know, does she think I'm doing it wrong? Does she know about this stuff? Did she see that I was rounding my back or something like that? And clearly not. It was just a snap judgment that she made. So, with that in mind, if you're putting anything off, or if you're not doing something because you're worried about what other people are thinking, just have a think about it. If you've got a thought, other people will think this about me, just ask yourself, is it true? How do you feel when you think that thought? How do you think when you think that thought about what other people will think of you when you can't know if it's true or not? So that's the answer to the first question, is probably no, by the way. Because how do you know what another person's thinking? You don't. You can think you know, but then you start thinking what they might be thinking, then it's all layered, and it's bleh. And it happens loads, you know. It'll happen to everybody. And then you have a chat with said person and it gets resolved. So, anyway, you know, how do you feel when you think that? List down how you feel: frustrated, angry, whatever. What shows up in your life? What do? Do you just go and get pissed and forget it all of that sort of stuff? And then, after you've done that, just start writing it down. Just start writing it down, and you'll realise there's loads of stuff comes up. And this will be happening every time you think this. So this was happening to me every time I was thinking about this guy, or what the guy said a couple of years ago, or what people might think when I'm down there doing stuff. It stops me doing it. It stops me doing it. It doesn't so much now because I just get it. I just flip it and get it over with straight away. So then, the next question is, who would you be without that thought? So if you're thinking, if someone's, so let's say someone's pissed you off, and you've listed how pissed off you are, what shows up in your life, what you do, how you react with that person, what you like with them, whether you're short with them or you know you're angry with them, so you just snap at them and don't tell them why. So then they'll be thinking, why are you angry with them? They might not even know. So then you just flip to, who would you be without that thought? So you've resolved all that, and then you say, who would you be without the thought? You know. And for me, it was always kind of like, well, I'll just get on. So now I just get on, go down the park, do my thing, don't give a shit what anyone else thinks. And that kind of resolves it. And then also put yourself in their shoes. So show some empathy. How would you feel if you were in their shoes? So they've annoyed you about something. They may not even know it. It might be a trait that they've got that annoys you. So this woman annoyed me a little bit, but that might just be a thing. She might go around giving everyone advice on everything. There might be some tree surgeon out there cutting a branch off a tree and she'll go, oh, that's dangerous, you could fall out of there. You know what I mean? So it's not just me. It's not my problem what she does. My problem is the reaction I have to what she does. Anyway, there you go. So, with that in mind, if you're worried about starting something new, if you're worried about getting fitter, stronger and healthier, if you're worried what other people might be thinking about it, what happens if you do that, if you're worried that they will think you become sort of idiot who only goes down the gym, one of them, only talks about health and fitness, or like we'll be sitting in a pub and go, oh, you're having another pint, are you? What's all that about, eh? You know, you can't have a pack of mini cheddars with your pint, that's ridiculous, you'll get fat doing that, you've lost all this weight, you know, all of that sort of stuff. If they think if you think people think you're going to turn into that, if you think you're going to turn into that, that's up to you. You don't have to. I'm not. I like a pack of mini cheddars with a pint. It's quite good. And then a pack of dry roasted peanuts with the next pint. It's the way it goes. It happens all the time. So yeah. So if all these thoughts are stopping you doing something, just analyse them. Is it true? How does the thought make you feel? Who would you be without the thought? And then turn around to yourself and think when you've done something in that similar vein. There you go. And then, when you've resolved all that, hit the link below and download my program. Hey! See you tomorrow.